Well, wasn't that fucking special tonight? Kind of was doing a little side job tonight and finished up kind of around 8:30. So was listening to Jack and Bob for the first period. Got home for the second and the third. I thought we were in pretty good shape. And was kind of expecting a pretty, you know, hard fought kind of third period, and it turned out to just sort of unravel. The Stripes definitely were not on their A game. It had sort of a playoff Anaheim Ducks sort of reminiscent feeling to it. Yeah, I've seen the clip of Larson, and I've actually heard on Overtime Open Line Rob say that the officials on the ice actually reviewed that to see if it was worthy of a five-minute major. Well, if that's a 5-minute major, someone needs to explain to me how Avalanche player skates in, kind of raises up the arm, chicken wings Mikko. Nurse comes to Mikko's aid and kind of roughs him up a bit. The guy from Colorado pretends like he was shot and he was totally innocent and he's never, done anything wrong in his whole life. And the whole, Matthew Tkachuk head turtle kind of bullshit that went on there and ends up with coincidental minors. If every time, in my hockey career, I ran a goalie and I ended up with a coincidental minor at the end of it, I would probably take that, and I would run every goalie every single fucking game. That is, that for me, that's probably a bigger injustice than giving Adam 5 in a game for the elbow there. I think there was a little bit of Hollywood on that play. I've watched it several times, and yeah, okay, even if you did get elbowed in the head, the extra arm flailing there, that's not a hockey play. That's what LeBron James used to do in the NBA when he was a rookie or a sophomore. It's textbook level flopping there, as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, I'm not one to really advocate for running another team's goalie, but if your goalie's getting ran and all that results is a coincidental minor, you better be taking a run at the other guy. And Nurse skated by him. I think it was in the third period there, and Grubauer sold that he was shot. Thankfully, the refs didn't buy it, but there is a penalty you can call for that kind of bullshit, unsportsmanlike diving, I think they call it. Obviously, that wasn't called. So, yeah, there was a little bit of a slant. I'm not going to pin the whole fucking loss on the officiating, because I don't like to do that. I'm about perseverance, and, if you have to play 6-on-8, then you play 6-on-8, or 10, I guess, if we're counting linesmen too, but I don't usually have a problem with linesmen on the ice. Yeah, I thought Mikko played a fantastic game. The only goal that he let in that probably want back is the one where he sort of gloved it and sort of batted it out and ended up in the back of the net. Because Jones took a swipe at it and missed, and they pretty much had a tap in empty net goal. I think that was the fourth goal, but Clefbaum was a little bit too risky tonight. He got caught on a couple of pinches and left Caleb Jones sort of alone on 2-on-1s, and I thought Caleb did as well as he can, but odds aren't good when you're giving up 2-on-1s, and you know what, this season we've really been actually really good at not allowing that, but it has creeped in on this road trip. It was there in the Kings game, and it was there again tonight. In the Kings game, I don't think it was all just one person. I can't remember who was fully responsible for those, but tonight Clefbaum was responsible for 2 of them, and I think he was on the ice for 3 goals against. I think Nurse and Bear were on the ice for the other one. Probably not going to be on here too long. I got to get up with the fucking birds, or before the birds in the morning, and head out on the road. But I guess I had a bit of a burr in my saddle tonight after that game. It just didn't sit with me all that well. Anybody catch the fucking Bill Peters apology? Man, some of the fucking dumbest things I've ever read. Like, I meant no disrespect. Okay, you called a black person the N-word, but you meant no disrespect? And people are trying to claim that a lawyer wrote that? Not exactly Johnny Cochran. It's the fucking dumbest thing I've ever heard. Absolutely tone deaf. I'm going to apologize by making you watch Roots in the dressing room now. Like, what the fuck? This is so fucking stupid. Yeah, that I think the part of that that's disappointing is, you're expecting sort of a tug of war kind of third period, and it just got sort of blown away. We were in good shape heading into the third, and then it just unraveled. But yeah, I'm not disappointed. I was happy with the road trip, before tonight's game. It would have been icing on the cake to get a win there, or take it to overtime and get a point. But well, you know what, the sign of a good team, and a team that'll do well, is a team that doesn't lose 2 in a row very often. I think Mikko did everything he could to try to get that done. His glove hand was on. Some guy was like, I think it was Kadri's goal there. He was blaming Mikko's glove hand. I don't think the puck was more than 13 inches off the ice. I'd have to see it again, but I think it just beat him low, just inside the post to pad side. It was nothing to do with his fucking glove. I think he was pretty much catching everything that was in his wheelhouse. The only one that he had trouble with was, like I say, I think it was that 4th goal where it hit his glove and he sort of batted it out and went to kind of landed, I don't know, just outside the crease, and Caleb Jones went to try to whack it away, but he missed, and the Avs guy tapped it in. That was the only flaw in his glove that I saw tonight, but you know what, for me, if you're making that initial save, you're kind of doing your job. I mean, you don't like big fat fucking lollipop rebounds, but you're making that initial glove save. You're just not trapping it. But how many fucking glove saves did he have tonight? Probably more than he's had in his whole fucking Oiler career. Why don't we dress the 7th D man? Well, then you're not exactly rolling 4 lines of forwards. So that sort of messes things up. If you want to double shift McDavid, I'm all for it, but I think it's easier to play a game, if a defenseman gets hurt and you have 5D. I think it's easier to play with 5D and 4 lines of forwards myself. There was one fucking series there, though. I think it was after a penalty or something, but I'm pretty sure there was enough time to change, and I couldn't figure out what the fuck was going on. But Chris Russell was out there, Nurse was out there, and Ethan Bear was out there. I'm like, don't we have 3 forwards we can put out there? I know Chaselon went down, but come on, there's got to be some other guys on the bench. That little series was a little strange for me. Who drops the gloves first, McDavid or Matthews? I would go with McDavid on that one. I think Connor gets more emotionally engaged in games than Austin Matthews does. I'm not trying to take a shot at Austin Matthews, but I just think that's the difference between the two of them. Yeah. Yeah, no, we're not going to win every game. And you know what? I don't think the players actually threw in the towel and kind of said, you know, it's the last game of a road trip. It's just, you know, sometimes the bounces don't go your way, and that was definitely the case in the third period. I didn't really think they quit. There was still fight in them there, which is good to see. I think it's different than last year, and you know, I think it's a combination of things. I think you've got a new coach behind the bench, but also I think there's a bad taste. I think, you know, I listened to George Larac last night. He was touching on the Bill Peters thing and all that, but he also talked about the team, and I think they have that you know, bad taste in their mouth from a couple of years that left them pretty disappointed, and I think they're on a mission. Yeah, well, I'm Scottish, British, Irish, Portuguese, and Lithuanian, so I have no way to be racist, because I'd have to hate myself more than anybody. So I'm conflicted, I guess I would say. No Italiano in this guy that I know of, anyways. Could be some crazy shit between the Portuguese and the Lithuanians, I guess, somewhere along the line, but oh. Yeah, cheers. Hard to see, but the old McDavid flex. Just cause, you know. You know what? I haven't seen Donna for a long time. She hasn't said jack squat on the mega thread or anything, and I haven't really talked to her that like much at all. I don't know. I don't know if she's mad at me or just laying low, or I don't know what the story is there. I don't know. It's too bad. I like Donna. She's good people. Fuck, man. I that infuriated me a little bit there. That the Avs guy comes in, crashes into Mikko, kind of gets his elbow up, and gives him the forearm in the lid there, and Nurse kind of takes him and rams him into the ice a little bit, and it ends up being coincidental minors. Like, oh, guy I played fucking bantam hockey with would have had a field day if every time he ran a goalie it was going to result in a coincidental minor. Happy for the Bruins' success. I guess in a way, because indirectly, I guess it benefits me because my girlfriend's a Bruins fan. So if they're winning, she's happy. So that makes it easier on me. I lived, 45 minutes on a fast ferry from Boston when I was in grade 11, but that didn't turn me into a Bruins fan. No, she's from Calgary. Kind of her family, I guess her dad was a kind of a Bobby Orr fan, and it got transferred down to her. That's funny, the Canadian accent, because we don't think that we have one. Whoa, that one sprayed. Yeah, good night, my dude. Hope things are doing well down there in Florida. Banquets for life. Yeah, one more, and then that's all we got tonight. They're not even fucking cold. They've been sitting in my desk here for a while. I'm terrible. I need a beer fridge in the room here. Well, Stamkos is hurt. What happened? Day to day. Fucking that Tracy Lane tweeted out, I think yesterday, that Nuge is, gonna be out several weeks, and somebody on Facebook, I guess, copied that, and now everybody was fucking panicking, and that's so funny. Like, unless the team says, a guy's on IR or whatever, or I don't believe anything I fucking read on the internet anymore. Oh no! Tracy Lane said Nuge is out. She's never been right on anything. Yeah, fake news is right. Faker than fake news. Yeah, I don't know. I saw a guy play a very pedestrian game and break Gordie Howe's record one night. Like it was nothing. 4-point night, and didn't even look like he cared. That man was Wayne Gretzky. The guy was unfucking real. Crosby, for his size, I appreciate his lower body strength and what he can do along the boards and that, but Wayne was on a whole other level. The man's vision is unmatched. Mario was pretty fucking good too. I like to hear it. I won't be getting drunk, but I will be crushing this beer. Sometimes I think people come just to have a beer over the phone with me here. It would be alright too if one day when I figure this shit out where I can have somebody else on with me, but for now I guess it's just me and you. So start doing some outside pods when the outdoor rinks are up, and I'll shoot some pucks and have some fun. Yes, cheers. It's funny, I did a fucking chat in the summer, for everybody that was ragging on Nurse and wanting to trade him and, his contract and this and that and whatever. Had over 1,000 views, and the other night, well, last season when I'd get about 400 views. So I got more views in the summer than I ever had. And the last one of these I did a couple games ago. I had like 200 viewers. It was kind of... It's funny, people will watch live. You'll get like 20 or 30 or 40 people. It'll show you that are watching live. But people actually, I don't know, they see it on their timeline or something later. And then they tune in. So, you'll think, okay, that was shitty. But then the numbers start to creep up there and whatever. So it's kind of cool. I'd do this as long as one or two people were out there and wanted to hear me ramble on about hockey and stuff and hang out. I find it fun. Like, I've done radio podcasts and stuff, and podcasts where they're taped and then put on iTunes and stuff. But I find this kind of fun and neat because it's interactive, and not that I'm pretty or anything, but you get to sort of see my face and shit, and I like the interactive aspect. You guys can talk to me, I can talk back, and away we go. And it's it's live, it's in the now, it's unrehearsed, it's off the cuff. Sometimes I'll have a couple things that I want to say, but thanks. Yeah, if you're new here, this is called Cell Block 99. Because it looks like a prison cell. Yeah. And I get to retire jerseys of people that I want to retire. So there's Al Shamsky's retired, which hasn't happened yet in Edmonton. It probably won't, but there you are. And Yakupov's off of this shoulder, I guess. doing the slide there. That's kind of new this year, but... And normally the McDavid jersey that I'm wearing is hanging up kind of behind me where that Draisaitl jersey is, I guess. But I just wanted to wear it tonight because it was easier. And I fucking love the road unis. And I think I've got a new jersey coming at Christmas. Holik is my brother-in-law. Let's make it happen. Not exactly sure what you meant by that, but sure. And if we're talking Holik, are we talking Bobby Holik, or what are we talking here? Waiting for the Horkoff sweater. Yeah, little Sean. Yeah. My friend Lars Caliu, comedian from Edmonton tonight, was on Overtime Open Line there talking about he doesn't remember if, there was a big hit in the past, if guys would, and it was clean, the guys would step up to want to fight. I don't think he remembers Dave Semenko always wanting to fight when somebody got clocked. It's always been that way. Whether it's clean or not, you just kind of hear this thud, and then you look around for somebody to jump on. It's instinctual. You always stick up for your teammate. I mean, sometimes you just keep playing, but a lot of times you're fucking charging a guy from the other blue line and coming and tackling him and getting it going because you just ruined your teammate. Scott Stevens was kind of brought up in that equation, but Stevens is a little different than a lot of people that do the big hits, like, the Matt Cooks and the Jordan Tutus and that kind of thing. Stevens was a big boy, could handle himself too. So not everybody wants to jump in and kind of get their ass kicked to defend their teammate. Has Gretz been getting trashed in Yeg recently? Trashed as in chirped online, or trashed as in drunk? I haven't really had wind of either one happening, but drunk, yeah. I haven't seen anything on that. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I know if I was Wayne Gretzky, and had as little cares as he does, I would probably not have a problem with having fun here and there. Yeah, on the Daryl Cates front, since kind of everybody's been hired and that, I really haven't seen hide nor hair of the guy. And I kind of think that that's probably a good thing. I know my old boss that I used to work for in Edmonton, season ticket holder, used to tell me that Cates would come in and, raise fucking Cain and just go apeshit because he wanted, things to be better than what they were. And was almost starting to meddle. And I think now that, they're in a good spot and things are going smooth, I think he stays the fuck out of the way. And I respect that. Let the hockey people worry about the hockey and just pay the bills. Am I getting down to Vegas this year? I've got my passport, but Kim, my girlfriend, doesn't. She's starting to work on that. So once she gets that figured out, there's possibilities that I could do a road game. There, there was talk, the Oilers Live Cup, like the charity games that I play in with Michael Hebert, the Oilers Live guy. There was talk that we were gonna do a road game, and Vegas was kind of one of the places. It was Vegas or Toronto, but as of right now, I think we just have one kind of scheduled for February 29th in Edmonton at the Community Arena. Like, the Community Arena is inside Rogers Place. Oilers practice there sometimes. So the 29th is, it's a Saturday, and I think our game is going to be somewhere between noon and 2. And then that night, the Oilers play the Jets on Hockey Night in Canada. So I'll probably try to get tickets for that. But we had discussions of maybe doing a game in Vegas or Toronto. But I don't think we're going to do an out-of-town charity game this year. I think they're going to try to really make like the game in February, I guess, is for Heart and Stroke. And they're really trying to, get some major donations. Like I think they have a goal of around $7,500 that they want to try to make for it, which is probably about $5,000 more than any of the charity games that we've done. So it's a little bit more of a bigger undertaking. So I would imagine that, the season ends April 5th, 6th, somewhere in there, and then playoffs. I'd imagine we'll try to get another one before the end of the season, and if not, then in the summer, like last year, we did a charity game for Adam, a guy on Twitter who has cancer, and we did a charity game for him, and I think that's going to be kind of an annual event too, so we'll have another summer charity game. So I would think maybe next year we'll take the show on the road and do one in Vegas or somewhere in the US, and try. I think the kind of idea is to try to get one against one of the NHL teams in the States, and have a team from there against kind of an Oiler fan sort of team, charity game kind of idea. And there's also the idea of doing an outdoor game at Lake Louise, and that's awesome, because to me that setting is just fucking awesome. It'd be hard to get fans for that, because you're in the mountains and you're a little ways from Calgary and stuff, but awesome backdrop, and that one should be videoed, because that would, just the backdrop alone would be insane. And the one we're trying to do in Edmonton, there's also the idea of getting like the Oilers alumni involved in it and that kind of stuff. So that's pretty neat. Yeah, man, we've got to meet at some point, and I'm not against going to see a Lightning game and spending some time in Florida too. There's a pretty high probability though that next summer I end up taking probably a week or so and being in Massachusetts. So if you want to come to the Cape in the summer, I'd love to meet you there, man. I need my Zen oasis just off the coast of Massachusetts, off the Cape. Gonna spend days just staring at the ocean, honestly. Have you seeked out a actual place on the Cape then? You let me know on that. Or just Massachusetts in general. Opportunity in Boston, yeah. If you get a job in Boston, then you're only 45 minutes on the fast ferry away from where I'd be. That's cool, though. Honestly, I spent the whole year on on the tip of the Cape, and I wasn't far from Boston, but never really spent a lot of time there. Yeah, you know what would confuse me is I wouldn't know what to drink if I was down there. Probably the same shit, but banquets might be harder to get there. I don't know. Yeah, no, you know, I love the city of Boston too. It's nice. It's older, but the architecture I find really neat. And I love the skyline when you're coming in on the fast ferry. It's pretty cool. Faneuil Hall is kind of a neat little place to visit, and yeah, you know what? I don't know if I'm a big Samuel Adams guy. I find it kind of a little bit bitter, but I can choke down any beer if I really want to. So, but Faneuil Hall's neat. There's like a replica Cheers bar there, and that's in my memory for sure. Yeah, yeah. There's always Rodeo Piss Bud Light there. Yeah, take care. I guess it's probably easier to read if I have it right side up. Anyways, I think I've ranted enough and I need to decompress myself so I can get up in the morning with the birds. So I'll end like I always end. Keep your sticks on the ice and keep reaching for the stars. Go Oilers, go. We're going to the playoffs this year. I know it. Peace.